Gary Gensler will be gone. This is a very interesting article that got written back in June, and it is so important now after the recent hearing, and we're going to be talking about it. So welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we go back to the middle of June, Market Watch put out a great article, and it was titled, Gensler Will Be Gone. Here's why Democrats are getting on board the crypto train. And if we actually look at this, right? This was at a time where everyone was like, all right, well, Republicans are obviously anti-Gary Gensler. They're anti the SEC right now around crypto and crypto innovation. Everyone was like, the Democrats are not going to support this at all. Well, guess what? The Democrats have recently turned on Gary Gensler in a very large way, and they're also now anti-Gensler. And this is happening at a very interesting time, especially around XRP, because if you guys do know, we're coming down the wire when it comes to the XRP decision to appeal the case. We have over here XRP news today. XRP outperforms market amid SEC silence on appeal. And this is at the time where XRP was nearing like 60 some cents or so. But we have Ripple's $125 million penalty remains in limbo as the SEC stays silent on appeal with the October 7th deadline approaching. Now, we know that the SEC has played this game many times over where they wait until last second. They've tried to stretch this out as much as possible. But the big thing that I'm really kind of focused on when it comes to this is how much pressure is on the SEC right now, and also how much negative information and negative news and agenda is being circulated around the SEC as well. The SEC has now lost their entire aura. They are not an agency to be trusted. They're not an agency to be taken seriously anymore. And it is because of the last 4 years and the actions around the SEC and the actions taken against crypto as well. Innovation and this entire market has been held back significantly in the US because of Gary Gensler and the SEC. So as we think about this case, and if we think about this appeal, the next decision that the SEC makes, whether it be positive or negative, is going to be greatly looked at. And if it is negative against XRP, I do believe that this entire market, and even those that are not pro XRP, and even those that are not invested in XRP, are going to be completely outraged. So Gary Gensler better make the right decision here. But also over here, we have US House Republicans probe SEC's Gensler on political hiring claims. And if we scroll down and take a quick look at this, we have in a September 10th letter to Gensler, who is a Democrat, GOP lawmakers Jim Jordan, Judiciary Committee Chairman of Ohio, Financial Services Committee Chairman Patrick McHenry, and Oversight and Accountability Committee Chairman James Comer accused the agency of hiring individuals from left-leaning organizations to fill senior roles at the SEC. Now, yes, this was definitely a political move. And the reason why I say that is it's not even just about the information within this article. It's about everything that has been happening around crypto since Gary Gensler stepped into office. Okay. We have Elizabeth Warren pushing her anti-crypto campaign. She was sending emails to Gary Gensler about questions and answers that they can, work together to try to paint crypto in a bad light. I mean, there has been so much manipulation, so much corruption, and it's all been circling around the SEC in a very large way. It's so obvious at this point that, yes, this is all political. Everything that has been happening is all political. But also, if we go over here, I confronted SEC Chair Gary Gensler with a deceptively simple question. Is a Yankee ticket a security? Mr. Gensler claims that NFTs are securities. I see no legal difference between a Yankee ticket that offers access to a Yankee game and an NFT that offers access to an animated web series, as in the case of Stoner Cats, for an example. Mr. Gensler is misclassifying collectibles, art, and tickets as securities. Check this out.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Gensler, suppose I were to sell you a Yankee ticket and tell you that the Yankee ticket could appreciate in value and could be resold at a profit in the secondary market. And as is the case with all sports tickets, suppose the proceeds from the sale of the Yankee ticket goes toward paying for the Yankee game. By selling you the Yankee ticket, am I entering into an investment contract with you and therefore conducting an unregistered security offering?
I appreciate the question. I don't know all the facts and circumstances, but I don't think so. I know where we're headed here, Representative, but I don't think so in that Yankee.
So a Yankee ticket is not, and why is the Yankee ticket not a security?
Well, it's really a question, and the courts have been clear on this, is the offer and sale.
Specifically with a Yankee ticket, though, when you're buying a Yankee ticket, what are you purchasing?
You're buying.
Access to a Yankee game, is that fair to say?
I understand. It's been a while since I went to a Yankee game,
Fair
but
enough.
that's.
You're welcome to a Yankee game.
I used to live in New York, and my three daughters were all born in New York.
So in the Stoner Cats case, the creators were selling an NFT that offered access to an animated web series. From the standpoint of federal securities law, is there a legal difference between buying a Yankee ticket that offers you the experience of a Yankee game and buying an NFT that offers you the experience of an animated web series?
Again, I don't want to comment on any one specific.
Well, it was a settlement, it's a fait accompli.
but-
It's not an ongoing litigation. You can comment on it.
But it's about how is something offered and sold, and is it offered and sold as an investment contract? Are individuals looking to a common enterprise anticipating profits based on the efforts?
Well, I'm familiar with the definition, and you're avoiding the question.
And as usual, in Gary Gensler fashion, avoiding the question. So we're supposed to believe that there is clarity, there's transparency in this market. All the answers are or all the questions are answered. Yet Gary Gensler can't answer a simple question. So where's the transparency? Where's the accountability? Where's the clarity that these CEOs, these projects, these creators, they all need? It's nowhere to be found. We also have over here, there's been habitual administrative actions from the SEC struck down by federal courts, Grayscale, Ripple, stock buyback rules, over and over and over, and yet you persist. What does this say about the reputation of the SEC? Big shout out to Mr. Man XRP for this. Check it out.
What those rules are. But I want to move to another question really quickly. Over and over again, your administrative actions have been invalidated by the courts. And we've seen it in the proxy advisory rule, the private funds disclosure rule, the debt box example, the stock buyback rule, Grayscale, Ripple. Over and over and over and over again, your administrative actions have been struck down in federal court. Commissioner Peirce, what does this say about the legitimacy and reputation of the SEC when the agency is constantly losing in federal court?
Well, it certainly says we need to be a little more careful when we go out with proposals and when we take actions to make sure that we're acting within the constraints that Congress gave us. And these are things that, in many of these instances, private fund rule, advisor rule, for example, we knew ahead of time that there were legal questions about whether we had the authority to do what we did, but we moved forward, and this is not good for our institutional integrity.
Well,
And it 100% is not good for the reputation, the integrity, for the entire SEC. I mean, this is not just going to be a Gary Gensler problem. This is going to be an entire SEC problem. Like, everyone wants to hold Gary Gensler accountable for this. It's the entire agency, and it goes right up the food chain. I've completely put a spotlight on all of this. The FDIC, the Fed, they're all a part of this. And it's just crazy that this is still ongoing. There's zero action here. Like, what is going on here? And also, by the way, Hester Peirce explained how the SEC has targeted crypto by providing zero clarity. This is exactly what they want. I think what's happening is we're trying to be ambiguous because the legal precision carries real implications. And this is why people have been coming to us saying we need clarity, yet they get none. Check it out.
I think what's happening is that we're trying to be ambiguous because the legal precision carries with it real implications. And this is why people have been coming to us and saying we need clarity. Is the token itself a security? Or is it part of an investment contract? Is it being sold together with an investment contract? If it is, what is that investment contract and how long does it track along with the token? By using imprecise language, we've been able to sort of suggest that the token itself is a security apart from that investment contract, which has implications for secondary sales. It has implications for who can list it. And I think this is absolutely, we've fallen down on our duty as a regulator not to be precise. And so tucking into a footnote that, yes, we admit that now actually the token itself is not a security, That's something that we should have admitted long ago and then started wrestling with the difficult questions.
Okay. So
I think what's happening.
So again, with all of this going on, I ask all of you out there, what do you honestly think the chances of an appeal happening? Because I feel as though this greatly affects the chances of an appeal. We are getting very close to this. In fact, we're like almost a week out now. So the question definitely is still looming. What is the SEC going to do after getting completely grilled throughout this entire process? And when you have your fellow commissioners sitting there and going against everything that you've been preaching for 4 years, the question is, what exactly is going on here? What's going on here? Well, the big thing and the biggest problem that I see with all of this is they want this to be the exact case. They want crypto to not have clarity so that they can continue to target this space, continue to bleed dry a lot of these, projects and these companies so that they could feed the control to the big players. It's the same exact reason why we see so many centralized exchanges being targeted. It's because less and less exchanges means more and more power for these big banks to come in, take custody of crypto, or even, exchanges like, for an example, Coinbase, that the largest shareholders are Vanguard and BlackRock. All of a sudden, these big players now have exposure to this market. They have also control over this market. So as we really think about this has always been the goal. It's not only just a political movement, but it's also a strategic movement here by the SEC so that this market is open for the taking by the incumbents, by Wall Street, by those that they want to have, control this market. And it really kind of goes back to my original viewpoints when it comes to retail having the upper hand in crypto. For the first time in history, we are the ones that are first in this market. The institutions, and I would argue that a lot of them in a large way are not exactly here. Sure, you might have BlackRock. Sure, you might have JP Morgan. But there's a lot of institutions that are still on the sidelines. There's a lot of money still on the sidelines. So now we're seeing the regulators feeding this market to these big players like BlackRock, BNY Mellon, Fidelity, and so many others. And it's so clear. It's so clear at this point. But I definitely do question what's going to happen with XRP here because, again, this is when we think about digital asset securities. I do want to quote this post here by Jake. We have listening to this and the SEC counsel keep saying digital asset securities to the court. 2 weeks after different SEC counsel apologized to a different court for the confusion they caused by, saying crypto asset securities, but we're supposed to know what the rules are. And yeah, this is exactly what Hester Pierce just said. She was like, we should have had this rule. We should have said this already. We should have stated that, the underlying asset is actually not a security. But we continue to hear this. We continue to hear these judges and these major players continue to push the idea that, these are digital asset securities. They're digital asset currencies, okay? Or digital asset technologies. They're not securities. That has already been argued. The SEC already openly admitted that that was confusion to the markets. So what exactly is going on here? What argument does the SEC still have against Ripple? What argument does the SEC still have against XRP? And the answer really is none. They don't actually have an argument anymore. And it took 4 years to get to this point, which is so sad. It's ridiculous. And I'm not even going to bring up the amount of taxpayer money, the amount of investor money, and also the amount of money that was probably lost through innovation, growth, jobs. I mean, the damages here that the SEC has caused through just open targeting of this space, zero transparency for, lawmaking, it is ridiculous. The damages, you can't even calculate them. So I leave you guys with this. Gary Gensler will be gone. There is no question about that. Gary Gensler will be gone. I do believe that we will see a completely new agency rise that is comprised of Web3 and Web2 players. Regulators will definitely have a foot in that door as well. This case against Ripple and XRP, I believe that's soon going to be gone. I think that's going to be put behind us. and I do believe that XRP is going to be unleashed. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome. Follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.